king of the hill.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, grab your computers, grab your phones, tweet this one out because it's going to be a wild, wild ride. Thank you very much once again for joining us. This, of course, is the grand finals. It is a best of 7 with potential to go all the way down to a best of 14. Unlimited need to win 2 series to make it count. Team Mantra, they are currently 6-0 in the bracket. Should they win 4 maps in this series, they are your champions. They get the check. They lift the trophy. But Unlimited, they have other things to say about this situation. So far, they have been looking unstoppable. Stella has turned on. We've seen from the side, Dead Zone has turned up. That overkill in the previous round was absolutely unbelievable. They are now showing signs of life. A switch has just flicked, and it's go time. This is where we start things off. CTF on Sanctuary, a legendary map from the ages. We've been here time and time again, and it sets the stage for what could be a fantastic show.
So right now you do see Boo Boo having both power weapons. However, he does not have the jetpack. We're going to see how this affects him going in with these weapons, because we saw what he can do when he does have that little Spartan ability, and he even drops the rockets for one of his teammates. I like the selfless play. I think it's actually the absolute correct play. You don't always want to be stacked up with those 2 weapons, especially on something like Sanctuary, unless you're trying to hold ring.
Brav mentioned it, how it could be with Boo Boo starting to get not a little bit boring, but certainly a little bit predictable. And I kind of agree with what Andy was alluding to, that team should now be getting him in check and understanding what he's capable of. You give him that jetpack, you give him the sniper rifle, you're going to be very cautious and erring on the side of caution that he is going to be lingering. We jump on board his POV. Thanks, Richie. We've already got a double kill in hand. This is what he's capable of. You give this man a sniper, and he will literally pick faces. He makes magic happen with this weapon. He puts it to good use. When you're grabbing a sniper rifle as a player, you need to make sure you are proficient. You don't want to waste these bullets, because it creates so many windows of opportunities. Player behind him does go down. Might not have been the best place to be standing out in the open like that. You don't have many room and much room to move and work your way across if you talk about a defensive stance.
I think the key word there was standing. Boo Boo should not be standing when he's sniping. He should be jetpacking while he's sniping, based on what I've seen in the past.
Keep your feet off the floor. The floor is lava, and you have a sniper in your hand. Sniper beat down, trade off, that's fine. Hop on board with Boo Boo once again, and
here we go.
Still has a sniper.
Let's go, Boo Boo. Here's the problem about this jetpacking. You keep saying how some of these players have to be a bit more aware of it. It's not as simple as saying, oh, Boo Boo, it holds down this specific location. Just the jetpack opens up the entire map. You can jetpack up from any sort of angle. So it's really something you can't fully prepare for. And you're just getting sniped in such unorthodox positions, areas that you usually feel safe and you're unaware of. And so I think that's why it's been so powerful in catching so many teams off guard. But feels like thus far in this game, Boo Boo Sniper has not been nearly as effective as we've seen earlier in this tournament.
Weapon control. Rockets in the hand of one of his teammates. Double. Wait, did he hit 2 players? Triple. He's feeling it. Here we go. Over's there down below him into the tunnel, but the nade's real. Did he kill 2 players with 1 bullet then? There is possibility. That's unbelievable. We very rarely see them, but the stars align and he gets the kill. The triple's there, but nothing can advance. And this is something we keep seeing happening, Dave. People are getting kills, but no flags, no windows of opportunities have been created.
No, and these teams don't want to be making that first mistake, like you said, Sims. When in doubt, just slay it out. Get as many frags as you can on the map and give some freedom, some breathing room for your teammates. Things will generally fall in place. They don't always, because as you can see, every player on the board right now are so capable of clutch plays that even when things are in your favor, even when you have a 4-on-2 scenario, someone could just pull off the perfect 5-shot or the perfect snipe or the perfect grenade DMR finish.
Rox is hot, nades are coming in, you need to be aware here. No health, no life, no chance. That one's shut down, it's an easy kill for him. Another frag on the board as we move on board with Spartan, the big dog, the man himself. He's been grinding since Halo 4. I remember watching him at events back in the AGL days where he would be wearing that big yellow dog hat, the dog pound. He'd be taking many people to it. There's the double, lands the shot. Needs to be keep an eye on ring 3. There is a player lingering, lurking, watching. Jesse's down. And now it's go time for all these players. They will flood the B Street. They will take control of ring. This is nice. Get the map advantage. But where are the players? There's no information. They're inside ring, and now he has to drop back. And watch his back. Doesn't matter. Lands the headshot. He's another man who's known necessarily not for his sniping, but certainly for his flashy showmanship. As a young player, he's done weird and wonderful stuff. It's also known for controllers disconnecting. Touch wood, that doesn't happen today.
I almost forgot about that one for a moment. Yeah, we'll definitely hope that nothing like that happens today thus far. But yeah, Spartan, he's also mainly known for his aggression. And one thing, like I alluded to earlier, was maybe him playing some other games helped him reevaluate his playstyle as a whole and understand concentrated aggression, knowing when you can have those bursts of pushing forward, and also knowing when to reel it back and wait for the teammates and pushing at the right times. Because I always felt like Spartan was always one of those go, go, go players. And you can get away with that, especially in something like Halo 5, where you're always creating aggressive moments and opportunities for your teammates. But other games, especially like here in Reach, you have to wait for the right moments for your teammates. You can't get, you know, in these current times of no bloom, no sprint. Teammates can't get to you nearly as fast. You can't, you know, thrust slide your way out of sticky situations. Sometimes you make the wrong move and you commit and you're done for.
It's young gun aggression, right? When you're at that age and you're playing a new game and you just get involved in a new scene, you want to get stuck in, you want to get the kills, you want to get the montage clips, and it's something that I think he's learned. As a player, Spartan has learned an awful lot. One of them is to be dealing with the mental sides of the game. Like, we've seen on social media where people like to body disrespect during scrims. He was never too happy about it. He was always chomp at the bit on Twitter and get involved in little rants and so on and so forth. But he's come on leaps and bounds as an individual, as a person, and as a player as well. I think it's really starting to show.
I mean, it's no surprise. We've discovered and been watching some of these players since they were so young. You know, you see some of these players come to the scene around 16 to 18 or 19 years old, and those are very formative years. You are learning a lot, and you get the spotlight put on you right away, and you're dissected and observed in so many different facets from a social media perspective. And so you just straight up mature very quick. You grow a thicker skin as fast as you can in melee situations like that. And so to see someone mature over such a short period of time and grow, you're sort of like, I don't know, I'm really proud of them.
Well, to say the average age was between 13 and 14 of these players on stage when this game came out, to see them now performing at this level, I know it's... I still think Halo will transition. Your skills will always transition no matter what game it is, whether it's advanced mobility, whether it's classic, whether it's whatever. It will always play a factor. You understand the nuances, when to push, when to peek, when to get aggressive and when not to. And to just see them be able to transfer those skills from Halo 4, Halo 5, and then just roll it back, play Reach for a couple of months, and here we are in a fantastic setup of events for a Grand Finals game. The fact that there's no flags even capitalized on yet kind of speaks volumes of how evenly matched these two rosters are.
Yeah, and how fearful they are of just making the wrong misstep. They're not trying to force too many flag caps. We've seen plenty of flags getting dropped over near shotgun, for example, and nobody trying to forcefully run that. The general fundamentals of Halo have just increased with, and by increased I mean the amount of knowledge out there that all these players have absorbed and how strong their fundamentals are now compared to 10 years ago is just on a whole nother level. They've had so many games to go through and learn how to more properly communicate, how to more properly work together. They've seen mistakes from other top pros in previous years and built off that.
Filling in Snipe up for now. Needle rifle to its best advantage. There's a triple, jumping quick scope, job done. Where's that player, though? Oh. Bye-bye. Exterm loses his face. It's not the over, but who cares? They're all dead. And now they know where they're spawning. They can track them. They can trap them. But the question is, can they capitalize on this flag?
They should, as long as they're moving it real quick. I mean, Ace did a solid job just staying alive as long as possible, staying all the way back at Unlimited side of the map. And look at this flag stop. It's all the way over in the hut, which is a decent position. However, all these members of Mantra are spawning over in the rocks, so it looks like despite moving the flag as fast as possible, Unlimited somehow able to break out of that step from all spawning in courtyard.
It was a valiant attempt, but it's all for naught as the players do respawn and we go back to even Stevens. Both flags at home, all players looking onwards. What's the next step, or what's the misstep, should I say? Because we know that these players sometimes will happily capitalize if an individual makes a mistake or a team just decides to fumble at the wrong hurdle. The better way to kind of pitch this is you give them an inch and they will more than happily take a mile. Fresh snipes up, onwards we go. Look towards rings 3. Unless you have enemies at the gates in which you need to clear out. So rocks will be the first point of contact. Check that, clear it out. Maybe move up onto ring 3, or even potentially just support your teammates from down low. Main ramp, there is one player. Ooh. And somehow, some way, just dinks him from across the map in the head. So that one's down for now. Waste the ammunition. He knows he's got many of enemy chasing him around. And the grenades, well, they will go that way. Quickscope doesn't find the head, but at least finds the body. The assist comes through. Will survive for now, but the nades will seal the deal. We keep going with Boo. The onslaught, it continues. Next fight will happen. We're looking towards B Street and bottom mid. He has his teammates there to give him the level of support he needs. Good trade-off as well, especially when you know shields.
Yeah, you always want to get those trades, especially those melees off. And that's one thing that I think still could be improved at the highest level. I think all these players instantly go for those melee trades just because they feel the comfort in securing that kill and trading their shield. And they don't want to put themselves in a worrisome position where they could take extra damage from someone else or dance around or potentially get embarrassed. But they give up extra amounts of shields to go for those trades. And so it's really this interesting trade-off that I do feel like could be improved at the highest level of play here in Halo.
Still back and forth in this tug-of-war we go. Isn't too much to be made of this one at the moment. There is a bit of an aggressive push, but it will be instantly shut down. However, there's contact in the rockets that they need to get control of, which they will. They will focus the side. Balcated with a disgusting little crouch to survive. Take 2 shots just over his shoulder. That was awful, but disgustingly amazing at the same time. B needs help, and he will support him. Doesn't need it as B takes control of that individual player. They're going to check where these teams are going to be spawning, or at least the players, not the team as itself, because they don't know. Full contrast, you should be communicating where you're getting these kills to perpendicular to where you're actually standing, because then your teammates know what's open, what's clear, and where they could be pushing from. Rockets are good. Now he knows that 2's on main ramp. They need to get a hold of the other 2. Where will they be? Where will they spawn? If he pushes P Street here with rocks, he can maybe lock down this hut, at least gets the kill before going down. And once again, Dave, it's just back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, neither team is able to get that full stronghold on the opposing base. Dead Zone's actually in a really good position right now, but also by himself. So even if he's able to secure a kill or 2, there's really not much that can be capitalized on. I mean, he still has to be the one that's going to run the flag, even if they secure a few kills. So this is not the most ideal of positions. We have really yet to see one of these teams do a great job of taking over the hut and holding it without taking at least a loss or 2. So these teams, like you said, have just been so back and forth. And you know, as soon as one gets that pick or 2, the other team just answers right back.
Nice aggressive stance here from P Street, especially to pick up a double when you know shields. Instantly shut down, but still it gives them the man advantage, at least for now. Same scenario to hold them back. Dead Zone, last man standing here, and he keeps ring control. If he can just at least apply some pressure, stop them crossing the threshold, and allow his teammates to spawn out and push out. Breathing room is vital in this game, especially in a map like Sank. Falcated, he's crossed enemy lines, and they know exactly where he is. No shield, it's a questionable play to jump out like that when your shields are still flashing. Could have held
information gathering, though.
Yeah, I suppose there is that.
At some point, he's able to tell his teammates, there's actually 200 turret. That now lets his teammates know that there can only be 1 or 2 people max that are somewhere up high on the map. So that means ring is up for grabs. They can jump on over towards Carbine. They can get all these up high areas to help support this player. The bigger question, though, is how close are his teammates to actually support that? You can have all the information in the world, but there's nothing you can do to stop it if you don't have the firepower to back it up.
Snipes transfer hands and instantly put to good use. Spartan collects it and says thank you very much. There's the double. Now he's looking up high for that one player that could be lingering ring 3. It's always a possibility. You need to be careful. Never mind, it's ring 2. The jump up from 1 says thank you very much. I'll take a double of my own. That's not a problem whatsoever. Rock side we go as he takes a peek. Ace takes a bullet of himself, opposing side. Trippy says thank you very much. Now the assault from above. He needs the help from his teammate who's hiding in the corner. He gets it, but it's too late. Spartan will advance forward on this one, but instantly he's just put back down. This is just trade for trade, gun for gun, frag for frag. Really, it's going to take a huge amount of slays and probably 1 or 2 waves to even get that flag going. It feels like these teams are so evenly matched.
Yeah, this is going to be a 1 flag game, as we can tell.
going to be a long game. It's going to be a long series. I mean, I don't mind. I'll sit here all day and cast this. I'm perfectly fine with matched up Halo, but at what point is the go time? Overtime we are in. As you hear the announcer say, 15 minutes remaining. 3 players down from blue team, and maybe now we see signs of life. Flag is on the way. It's on the move. We have the sniper set up on Carbine side, and they are spawning over by Hut.
This is a setup, though, that Unlimited broke out of last time. They ran the flag, rocks, yet they somehow slip player by to get the kill of the flag going towards the opposing Hut. They somehow slip players by and got those kills as they pushed out courtyard at disadvantageous positions. So we're going to have to see if they can do it again. I mean, Boo Boo Doo we saw Olo in the same position before. They cannot force this flag in, but looks like Boo Boo and Mantra are just going to run it right in without as much resistance as I expected to see.
Sniper set up on Car allows them some kind of overview to count down where people are, but more importantly, let's speak about those rockets. They were so vital and so important. The people that were chasing down the flag had no idea where he was. He was actually in their base. He sat back, he hung back, and then as they decided to try and chase the flag down and get the retrieval, a missile just comes from nowhere, hits them where it hurts, and more importantly, puts a stop on their tracks. They're allowed to run the flag, a little bit patient toward the end. I'm perfectly fine with that. You get it in, you get the job done. Mantra take game number 1. The Slays, that's a...
Outslayed just slightly by about 6 kills. So, I mean, over the course of a 16-ish minute game, I mean, being outslayed by 6 kills or so is near enough to even. I mean, even in Slays across the board, in my eyes, over that period of time.
This one will go all the way, straight up. This is fantastic Halo, what you're watching. I hope it doesn't get to a point where one team just kind of... What we saw in the previous round, where we got to the end game and all of a sudden it was like, okay, let's just end this, and then you end up with a steak dinner for the Slayer. We don't want to see that. We want to see match by match, matched up teams, taking it all the way down to the wire, just like this. I'll take a 15-minute overtime game every single day of the week if we're playing it to these extremities. I've no problem whatsoever, but it is Mantra who come out on top game number 1. Positive start for the boys who are currently on a 6-0 win. Slayer Zealot becomes our game 2. Dave, do you feel any favor to one team here moving into this after what you've seen from game 1?
Oh, I mean, it's so tough. If we had seen Mantra pulling that game out after being heavily outslayed on Sanctuary, I would have said, all right, then this is going to be Unlimited's game. They're going to just outslay similar to what we saw in the previous series against the squad like Infinite. I don't think that's really the case here, though. It was so even in slaying. Both these teams doing such a strong job. It's going to really come down to what individual player goes off. I mean, we saw Stellar going off in Game 5 against Infinite. We've also seen Dead Zone going off with that amazing sniping spree on Pit. So is one of these players going to step it up and bring their team back in the game, or extending the lead for Mantra?
It was a damn good overkill. It's by far the highlight clip so far of this weekend. In the previous one, I'm hoping for a grand finals we get something of that caliber. We've already seen an the unofficial overkill, if you will. Didn't actually make anything of it, which was kind of impressive. But nevertheless, it was always good to watch. 2 players will run hollows for now. Grenade launcher is amongst them in the weaponry. But they aren't checking down lower lights. One player managed to at least get through and finds a crack in the armor. There's the triple. Last player standing over in the corner. His teammates there to maybe give him the support that he needs. Gives them a little buffer on the scoreboard. And it's things like when you're picking up triples and overs, and Ryan Oops, for example, is a perfect example of this. On Slayer, how it can just turn the tides and turn the momentum in your team's favor. Even if you lose for that moment, you're getting 4 off the bat and you're giving yourself room to breathe, Dave.
Yeah, and I think obviously the actual kills that you get from that multi-kill can't be understated, but it's more so the after effect of all the opposing teams spawning in one location. You have a chance to spread out, take up all the positions you want on the map or the weapons that you want on the map, and then just collapse it in where all those spawners were.
Big fan of this. Needle rifle up. Back-to-back kills goes down now. Killing sprees there. We've already seen Stella with a frenzy in one of the past and previous games. Could we be seeing the start of it here? That's another one-shot easy. 1, 2, thank you. Double denied. Did have support from top mid, so at least that puts a hole on that one. Hopping board, down the streets and down the landing, move over to gold. It's a bit of a back and forth risky play. Will Take a look at Eco's POV in a second if he manages to somehow land this kill. He does not, so we'll stick with Falcated for now. Sniper's down, it's out, and there's the double. Sniper up. 1 point game, and honestly, this is what it's going to be like. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is just
it's the kind of Halo matches we want to see. You know, every once in a while throughout one of these series, you do want to see potential preference towards a specific game type, and maybe one team flexing on one and, you know, getting a much stronger lead. But when it's back and forth like this, you can't ask for any better Halo. Each life has so much meaning to it. Someone making that slight misstep, you can count towards at the end of the game saying, oh my gosh, if they had done this different or this different, that would have been the game in or against their favor.
Suppressive fire comes from down the street. Falcated is just watching it in case anyone wants to make a move on it. They don't for now. They are held back at gunpoint. Unfortunately, it's Ace who falls, and all 4 of them follow.
Trippy seems to be aware that they could be spawned over towards blue base, and luckily backs away a bit over towards the landing just to buy some time and lay down some shots.
These 2 players are completely unaware. He's come from lights, he's managed to get up there, and they are baffled where he just come from. So, look at them all, Dave. They're so tunnel visioned. They're so tunnel visioned here on what's going on across the map. The flank is real, needs to get the reload, but that's a flashing play. Should be an easy kill, which it is.
And now he knows they're all spawning bomb center, so this is how it continues to roll into a massive advantage where players get all 4 down at one point, and even though they semi-break out of a setup or a position, they just get stuck in their next one.
More importantly, that little flank just like that gives him a 4-kill advantage on Mantra. So Unlimited in the driving seat for now. Sniper rifle up. Focus down. Finds one player top gold. He should be called out and should be assist killed shortly. Teammate needs some support and they're there to help. That's a big bad grenade, but it gets the job done in the form of his teammate at least helping him out for now. Is a response. Trip is there. We're going to make an advancement on this street. Needs to move past gold over to blue. In blue has got a little bit more room to breathe. And maybe a bit more time to get his shields back, which he does. Watches over hollow side for people going for the transfer or maybe even grenade launcher once that comes up. But that's the big advantage with sniper rifle on this map. You just have so much room to breathe, I want to say. If your teammates can support you on the street, you can just look through these windows and have so many dirty angles.
Sims, how many times throughout this game has it been within 1 kill? I mean, generally you see one team pull away by 5 or 6 at many points throughout. However, we've seen it tied, you know, 22-23. And once again, we see this game tying back up at the 42 kill mark. These teams are neck and neck. It is so tough to call.
Maybe we see a bit more passive play from one of these rosters rather than just running into a kill box area like top mid, bottom mid, something like that. Landing. YOLO jump at least gets him the double, gets the back whack. Excuse me, the front whack even. As he manages to land down on that. Regardless, it's a trade-off and we'll take it for a double. Not a problem. His teammate does go down on the opposing side of the map, so once again, it's wrapped up to 1 kill. Kill by kill, all they need to do here is trade off them. Any trade for a frag is an easy one for Mantra. They're starting to get a kill advantage. There's a second as well. 2 more. Count this down. There's the double. Make it 1 more. That's all they need. Push, 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 boys. Hold the trigger forward and shoot, and you can't lose. 19 kills from Falcated, backed up by 17 from Spartan, is a huge, huge play from those 2 gentlemen.
What a performance here from Mantra, clutching it out when they need to in both of these games. It's been neck and neck both these times. However, the scoreboard does not show that. It just shows a clean 2-0 in favor of Mantra.
+6, +3. That's a damn good effort. Falcated putting on a show. Showing what he's really made of. We saw him during Halo 5. He was on the come-up with Shotzi for a fair amount of time. As Shotzi excelled to new heights, he kind of dropped down to some of the more nether region of some of the other teams, and we did see signs of life. We saw signs of excellence. But now he's on main stage, potentially a few maps away from winning a championship, so good stuff to see. New names on the block, new champions. That's what it's all about as we look onward to Infinite.
And this is one of those scary rosters. I mean, looking on paper, this Mantra roster going to this event, we knew they were going to be good. Did we think they were going to be this good? No. A roster that could 4-0 Sentinels, a roster that's 2-0 in the grand finals, a roster that could potentially sweep both the winners bracket finals and the grand finals?
Imagine. Imagine. I mean, Spartan's going to be happy. I think this is something that he's wanted for a long, long time. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a major win yet. He has... No, he doesn't. We've seen him in many a competition, wearing many a different shirt. Hell, I remember the days of Team Liquid when he was performing on there. Again, actually, against some of the players he's on main stage with now. He was playing Liquid with them. And I remember him up there. I think he played Optic and lost in the grand finals. I believe it was at Denver, I want to say. Either way, for two of these guys, this would be their first event win. Spartan and Falcated, actually the dynamic duo from the previous round. So if they get this would be monumental for them moving forward through the year.
If it does happen, I just can't wait to see that pop off. We see how excited Spartan gets after a series victory. I can only imagine how emotional, how great he would feel getting his first major tournament victory. I mean, there's really nothing that quite compares to getting your first win.
I don't know what it's like, Dave.
I'm sorry for laughing. I'm sorry for laughing.
No, you're not.
I guess if it makes you feel any better, Sims, like the next 30 or so tournament wins don't feel much better, like don't feel drastically better than the first win or anything. So it's really, you know, there's kind of diminishing returns on the following wins.
You know what?
Does that feel any better?
No, not really.
No, I'm a bad motivational speaker, I guess.
You're just a bad friend in general. Not going to lie about it. Snipe down, so I'm going to chase that one round. At least managed to get the body shot, but he won't confirm the kill. Top mid under a fair amount of testing for now. No nades as we get the scrappy hill time, as we do like to call it. Mantra starting as they mean to end. And remember, this is that kind of map where we have seen multiple occasions now throughout this weekend that final hill becomes pivotal. And been able to get the final minute and take control of the game and basically win it. We have seen that obviously change throughout the final hills. The other thing that we've seen drastically change throughout this weekend is how much time teams are scrapping up in the middle hills. Look at this, 41 points that have been scrapped up out of the possible 90 points total in the first minute and a half of this top center hill. That's unheard of. Most of the other teams generally have just been spending their entire time securing red, waiting to get that large chunk of time. But as we've gotten further and further in the tournament, we've seen teams prioritizing that scrappy time, and it's been adding up. Man switch for the sniper, at least the assist is there, and then instantly just looks onwards to the opposing closet. Gets the shot, but not the kill. Ace may look for this one player here, one shields are back. Ops to not actually engage with him, but the sniper rifle says no. Two players there, shut him down instantly. One bullet in the clip, but a second sniper rifle also in play. 5 for this one. So maybe you opt to switch out one of your teammates, but we have seen this simple scenario time and time again. We spoke about it this weekend where you put your sniper in here just for the simple fact that if someone gets aggressive head to head, snipe beat down them and get them straight out the hill. I know it's a long range weapon, but for this hill in particular, because there's so many close areas that you can attack it from, it's nice to have that option, kind of like the old shotgun beatdown scenario. You use it in the same way. Hand scopes on the corner, nade launcher up. You could probably just bank these off the wall, through the smoke and into the head. One player's there to at least support him and give him the assistance that he needs. Still has to be careful, because if that grenade launcher player's there, he will end his life as he goes around the corner. No health. No chance. Oh my lord, he kills him on the fadeaway and survives as well. This is disgusting. Continuing the punishment. Eco Smith holding on for dear life. Doesn't go any further, but what a beautiful little run there to secure a good amount of time. Yeah, all that scrappy time in the center of the hill doesn't matter, I guess, when you get this full-on step on the side. Clearly extending their lead quite a bit further, but you can see the damage has been done to Mantra. Unlimited making a statement here off the second hill here on Nexus. They'll continue the punishment. And it's a really lockdown setup here. Having Stellar down low, been able to just watch that certain angle that many teams have been pushed for and have their setup broken from, is paying dividends. Like, off of his single position alone, just watching that and funneling all these players down and killing them, his teammates can just mop up the time. Look at that scoreboard. We were, what, not too far off, not too dissimilar in scores, and now all of a sudden they're nearing the 100-point club. Correct, yeah. They made the most, or as, you know, a great amount out of that red side hill.
However, we've also seen that come back to bite teams later on as they get complacent in this game. Oddly enough, majority of these games, or at least we've seen 3 times throughout today and late yesterday, where that final blue hill is the game decider. And I'm not sure what it is, whether it's just this sense of urgency and panic from the other team trying just to desperately get them out of the hill, or teams just clutching up at the end and making sure they watch every angle perfectly, but some combination of those factors have been allowing clutch and choking moments to happen.
Sniper doing a fair amount of damage here. And unfortunately, it's for the opposing roster, it's in the hands of Boo Boo Doo Boo. Falcated after a brilliant game in game number 2. Will drop rather unfortunately, but shows that he's got it in him and shows what he's more than capable of. Ace still defending down low. We've seen Ace really not going too high, to be honest with you. He's always just hanging around the basement. Kind of same scenario to what we saw with Stella to give them that large amount of pointage on the board.
I was just going to say, Ace needs to revert back and help get blue/blue closet just to be safe. I mean, if one of his teammates dropped over by the hill and he allowed these spawns behind him, that'd be a waste, especially when they've held blue for so long. You don't want to lose that just to a spawn behind you within the last 20 or 30 seconds.
Snipe in the window, doesn't connect to anybody for now. Boo Boo's forced back and 2 players collapse and end his run there. Looking for snipes, but there's no ammo left, unfortunately. Sorry, Trippy, maybe next time. Straight across the map, keeping an eye on the time and keeping an eye on the movement. It's a great time to be in blue because the hill is going to be coming this way, which it does. More importantly, they have nade launcher. They can lock this down. Just keep the bombardment, keep the barrage up. Gets the nade off. Didn't see how much damage it does, but it did enough because I'm seeing the assistance medal come through, so there was teamwork involved. Beautiful, beautiful headshot to stop an advancement in the hill. Sniper's still up. He's getting a bit overzealous. Just skims his head. It's a valiant attempt and a great effort, but no connection can be made. That top middle player will still be standing.
And Unlimited still controlling blue side. This is both side hills that they have been the clear winners in, despite Mantra getting control of blue side of the map. Prior to the hill rotating, it was a situation where Unlimited just took it when it mattered. It doesn't matter if the team holds the blue side base from the 9:01 mark to the 11-minute mark, as long as you just have control of that side of the base from 9 minutes on. So maybe it's a situation where Mantra rotating and guarding too early, or we just gotta give credit where it's due, and Unlimited know how to break setups and push on over and break through Mantra's base.
Time is starting to run away from them. 2-minute lead. Now, don't get me wrong, we've seen some huge swings and some impressive comebacks that just looked completely unattainable. But it can happen on Nexus, especially on these final corner swings. However, that is a large deficit to make up, Dave. That is a large amount of time they have to work at.
Yeah, you're asking for too much. You're essentially saying that Mantra at this point has to get a full setup at red and hold it for the full 2 minutes and not allow Unlimited to break that setup one time. That is a big ask to have just to tie this game up.
It'll be difficult, but things are possible. We shall see. Hill goes back to top mid. And after this, Red Hill will be pivotal for either one of these teams, either Mantra to make the comeback and mount the comeback, or Unlimited to secure the W. We shall find out. Shots from afar. Take initial player down. Move on board with Ace. Looking, knows the nades are coming, so he knows where the contact is. The hill is under contention, so he knows where the players will be once he overpeaks this. He does, unfortunately, overpeak and overextend just a little bit. With those shields, you can see the thought process. You always want to tag people up and put shots down, force them out, or even just apply pressure to scare them away and stop the timer ticking, because that's the whole point for Mantra. Regardless of how much time they have to make up, while all this is going on and happening, they have to keep stopping Unlimited from getting more time. It doesn't really matter if they now get 2 minutes time, say, yes, great, fantastic job, if Unlimited have put another 30 seconds on the board. That's
so incredibly surprising that, yeah, Unlimited still are prioritizing getting some scrappy hill time because it's worked in the past. They've been able to acquire some time, and it seems to lead to a lot of kills for them. It forces Mantra out into open positions as they try to get these kills on the hill people. One thing that's also surprising is you see Unlimited rotate on over to the bases where it really doesn't matter. I mean, this is moving to red next. 35 seconds from now, this hill's gonna be at red, and Eco prioritized to go towards back blue. I don't know how I can really justify this in any way outside of saying that they want the additional angle to shoot towards top hill, but they're gonna have to now start from scratch and try to break over towards red base. And let's see how Unlimited does it from their point of view. They've been successful at breaking red base and breaking blue base 2 times before. Let's see if they can do it a 3rd time.
I mean, that's why Ace has been there all that time, even through the last 2 times we've seen him. He's just constantly been on the angle, holding it down. They have nade launcher. This is a can opener. Maybe this can do something. The trap will be sprung as he goes around that corner. Sniper rifle is up and in the hands of red team, which is massive. There's plenty of bullets to work with. If Spartan can land all these headshots, then they can mount the comeback. Watching that angle is fantastic. Let your teammate look forward. Jesse's there, Boo-Boo Doo-Boo to watch under green. One player runs by. Could have done with hit him in the head. Turns again, but that's 2 assists. However, they've broken through. Now it's dangerous water. Stella's there as well, 2 players. And all of a sudden, unless that last player's taken care of, they may have broken through.
It seems like they broke through. Even if a lot of those players got picked off, the damage has been done. I mean, it only took around 20 to 25 seconds for Unlimited to get a breakthrough, get enough slaves to put so much pressure onto Mantra. So I think it's a testament to how strong Unlimited are at breaking through these setups. Jeez. Despite plays like that, though, look at that. Mantra's setup is all done for. They only have 2 players at green now. Now it's like even grab towards this red side hill. Both these teams got to vie for control, go for slays, and whoever comes out ahead in this engagement is going to reap the benefits of that with another 30 to 50 seconds of time.
That's what I mean. Even though it's late in the game, it's there's still a lot of time on there to be had. Still a lot of credible and vital time, to be honest with you. And unfortunately for the side of the red team, Unlimited will be the ones tanking those last scrappy bits up. Even another 30 seconds, and it could be all she wrote here for Team Mantra in Game 3, but we will continue as we started. And it's just another game of Nexus King where anything can happen on the last minute. Down to the wire. But then again, to be fair, when we look at this scoreline, with 3 minutes and how Unlimited's playing, you kind of touched on it, Dave, they're prioritizing hill time. We might not even be able to run the clock down here.
No, I mean, I think we've seen so many ridiculous comebacks here on this map that I do actually like the style of play that Unlimited is doing here. They're just grabbing up as much time as possible. They're not going to leave it down to this last hill. They're also going to force Mantra to have to scrap up a significant amount of time in this top center hill. I mean, they're going to have to get somewhere between 30 and 60 points in top center hill in order just to have a chance of clutching this game.
Falls back for now as he is pressured. Doesn't check closet. Some player probably spawned there and just dipped down. Now Sniper will transfer over. Mantra grabbing the hill time. But it is a fragile comeback. It's capable and it's doable. But you need to control absolutely everything. This Sniper, depending on what it can actually do from a top middle hill like that, it's really difficult, regardless of how many slays you're going to get, because nades can just hit you from every single angle. You can't lock it down. There's no real defensive. Like when you look towards the base spawns, it's so exposed.
One thing I want to point out right there with that quick exchange is how I was talking about before, going in for those melee trades when a situation where a player had the advantage. I felt like Boo-Boo could have just went for shots and a melee, or backed away and not gotten to melee range if, you know, if he knew exactly where that player's come from. Some of those situations, unavoidable. Someone gets next to you right away and you weren't expecting them to be that close. That you can't help nearly as much, but I feel like those trades seem to continually happen at such a high level of play. And I would love to hear some other top pros' perspectives on that, because it's either a situation where they're like, no, you got to secure the kill and you got to get as fast as possible because you assume the other team's getting help, or they agree that it's a situation that can be improved on and players need to just be backing away, trading damage, taking shots instead of trading melees.
I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm not good at math, and I think mathematically that game might be over and done with. With such a huge scoreline and with only a minute 16, I think it's done. It's always an interesting one because we have to, they're all standing still. Okay, that's a GG.
To see an infinite is also like once the game's mathematically impossible to win, something like on, I think you'd only apply this to like Oddball and King of the Hill, assuming Oddball and both those game types are in infinite. That the game just ends at some, you know, like counts down, says mathematically impossible, game over.
Yeah, no, I think that's something that can be noted in scenarios like this where we actually manage to be able to see it. Kind of shows it from a spectator point of view. Why once it gets to that point.
Also, from a matchmaking point of view, imagine being in the game and like you're already down by a minute or more of time. It's like, well, I can play this out and try to pad my stats, or I can move on to my next game.
So, one thing that I will say for this series then, Dave, and one person that I kind of want to look towards now is Unllimited, the coach of Mantra. Kyle's been there, he's done that, he's bought the t-shirt, he's teamed with some pros, he's an event winner, he's like, you know, Christ used to have in his Twitter bio, the best until you find somebody better. I want to see how this goes for his team now, with them being a younger generation, how they deal with this from a mental standpoint. The pressure is going to be transferred to you now. They've been doing so well, don't get me wrong, they've dropped one map before, but I don't want to see them tilt. I don't want to see the heads go down, sloppy mistakes start to happen, panic starts to kick in and ensue. We need to look towards both Elam and even Ace to a bigger extent, who has played in Reach 7 events. He is a Reach event winner. Look towards these guys now for influence, for inspiration. How do we get through this tough loss, and how do we continue to clean this series out and get the job done? Yeah,
and I think in a case like this, you just pretty much have to shake it off. You got heavily outslayed, especially in the hands of Eco, where he went plus 15. You got outslayed. You got to shake off a game from time to time. I mean, I felt like they thought this game was lost early on in that game, and I see Elamite right next to us shaking his head saying, yeah, that game was lost early on in that game.
90% of the time.
All right, I can't hear what he's saying.
This is 90% of the time.
Maybe that's also a problem with his team, is maybe he's not calling out and telling his teammates when the power-ups are coming up.
Nobody went for it.
Is that what it was?
Elamite saying to tell him to overshield constantly, and not once did his team get overshield, which is non-existent on the map. So, I mean, I see the problem.
No, these are good games, though. These are really good games.
Yes, I mean, don't get much closer than those first two games. 1-0,
50-49, 32.
I've never seen a coach just come up onto the desk. Is it like toilet break or something?
Neither have I. I've never seen that either.
Why are you even here?
Bathroom break.
Oh, is that
player bathroom break.
Okay.
So we're good. I was prepared before the series.
How are the guys doing? Because it's like there's two players on there that are literally on the verge of winning their first event.
Oh, I know. It's super exciting. You know, everyone's feeling good and trying to stay focused. You know, this is no pushover. Even though Tox fell earlier, it doesn't mean anything.
Coming in
These
a little
guys
bit,
are so good.
There we go. You can move
Both teams. Both teams. You can see you let anything go. Like there were multiple times even on the first map we could have had some caps, but it's just one player. I think even in the previous years, Eco, Penguin, there's back-to-back triple kills, right? One team gets it, the other team answers right back, and that's kind of what we're seeing. Just slugfest.
Yep, just those individual stellar performances. It's so crazy to think where it's like, yeah, you get 3 down and you assume the other team can just collapse and just clear out that 4th player, start to run the objective. But that's not so much the case. One player just answers right back and goes huge by getting, you know, slipping by the lines, getting a back smack and following up like their own triple. Is that's just so tough to account for. You can't really just assume that now that you have numbers that you're guaranteed to win. Like people just have such great shots and know how to position themselves so well nowadays.
Their objective efficiency on that, like they had all this scrap hill time, right? We could not compete with their scrappy time at all whatsoever. We had a couple of good setups, but big chunks of times and runs, but nothing to really get back into it. Sometimes you blink and that game type's over.
Is there any kind of worry or concern in your mind that with the loss, potentially a couple of them collapse going into these next few games?
Oh, I mean, we've only dropped 2 games this tournament, and one of them's Nexus King of the Hill, right? So we knew it wasn't our strongest one going in, and, you know, we're super happy we got those first 2, right? We knew it was going to be a battle all along. We knew, you know, we're coming out winners, and these guys are warmed up. They 4-0'd Sentinels, right? Like, we did that, but so did they. You know, they answered back. Like, we're looking pretty good. Well, you know, we're not the only ones here.
I love you to death.
I think we're ready here.
Yeah, 3 of them are done, so I'm just going to have to tell you to do.
Good job. Great casting, guys. Great casting.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Wait. How do you know how good our casting is? Huh? Answer that one.
That's how he won all of his events.
Exactly.
Having a headphone off every single time. We don't give Kyle any grace whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
How we do. It's actually I've never had a coach come up and join us before. What's
not once.
About? I mean, fair play. It's a nice bit of content, and it saves us just tanking along and talking crap until we get going. But fair play. Yeah, that's I kind of. Hey, what's this? Is this some press ups? Or is this the one where he walks back all the way? He can bend his watch. It goes all the way down to his feet.
Oh, it goes like doggy down all the way up to like.
I wish I was that
a toe touch. Just showcasing strength and flexibility.
I was that flexible as a younger man.
What's that? You were?
I've never been that flexible. Believe me, I don't even remember being a younger man these days. Good Lord. Oh, well, Halo
Look
makes you
how
feel like
fast the results change after just seeing that one dominating Nexus King of the Hill performance. Now you have 62 to 38% voting in favor of Unlimited bringing back this series.
We still have to take into consideration that's only Mantra's second map they've ever dropped. I think that's absolutely crucial. You do have to pay attention to it, and you do have to respect it. Oh well, onwards and upwards we go. Game 4. Countdown will be our playground. How's this one going to fare? Will Mantra come out on top, or will Unlimited continue the punishment? Sniper, rockets, all the toys, all the goodies are in play. There is no camo. You only see that in Slayer. We are going into CTF. And of course it is 5 and, oh wow, okay, well we're just seeing people getting melted straight off spawn. It's something you love and hate to see. It's always doing in matchmaking, you have straight to look across, just shoot them and hopefully someone bottles it, and we do. Down low initially.
I'm curious to know if all these top teams know who to shoot right off the start. Like if they're like, all right, second person from the left, or, you know, second person right. Because I think in an ideal world, you choose one of the people that are closer to the center so they don't have as close of an escape towards the jetpack or towards the garage door.
I mean, let's be real, everyone runs. So if two players can shoot and prioritize one player, that's the only real way to kill them. So, and it won't surprise me.
I mean, theoretically, too, if all 4 players shoot the same one, that person just gets melted after, you know, one person has to hit 2 shots, everyone else has to hit 1 shot.
One of those moments where you just spawn and then die and you smile. It's like, there's nothing I can do about it, I just have to respect it. You know, I can't be angry.
It's like the old days where you get modded against in like Halo 2 and you just like spawn and die. You're just like, oh my God, what can I do about it?
The elite just flies to the top of Warlock and auto-biage you time and time again. It's like, well, yeah, we'll just let it go. Beat him down, beat him down, beat him down, beat him down! He does he get this second?
Oh my God!
What is going on? This is utter chaos and they're still running and they actually put it in! Dead Zone, what the hell was that?
I just thought we were going to see trade after trade, especially from the first kill from that player missing the second melee, but Dead Zone being the sole reason in my eyes that flag got captured.
Oh, you're going to be triggered after that one. That's disgusting. That is absolutely awesome. Shouldn't be able to do that. Oh, he's nailed himself. Oh, boo-boo. Boo-boo. Be careful here. Don't get a double cap, Tom. Slow it down, boys, and get yourself together. Double kill comes in. Eco's up high. They're looking through main door. They will be able to pull this one out. B's already on the transfer. He sees shots from afar, but Ace is getting tanked up. He'll also lock Spartan there. That's the biggest advantage of this front door, Dave. Look at how many angles he was covering. Look at how many denial points and routes that he was shutting down.
That's the difference of when you secure and clear a route for your flag carrier. When you already have someone on the flag, you aren't going to get surprised by nades. You aren't going to get surprised by somebody in garage door. You already have somebody escorting the flag like that 2 in a row. That's 3 flags for Unlimited in such a short period of time.
I was concerned about this, and it's becoming a reality. Unlimited have switched on, and it looks like Mantra, unfortunately, have switched off. What has happened to them? The composure is going outside of the window. Hell, it's going outside of front door, landing bottom middle. We don't really know what's happening here. The flags are still moving on the opposing side. There could be some signs of life. It's on the opposing side, but the nades are here.
Look at this. I like this from Boo Boo, leading the charge. Rather than just going straight into the flag and losing that fight, he leads the charge. He's slightly weak. He gets that kill and creates a path for his teammates to run the flag in. You'll know so much more consistency and so many more flags captured if you have somebody just slightly leading the way.
This is really concerning, Dave.
Let's see Eco lead the way. Eco's going to lead the way and go right into the flag. And if not, this could spell disaster. Look at that. 1 player down. Spells disaster, like I said, Sim. When a player does not escort in the flag first.
That's 3 players down, and now they're going to attack this one up. They can all dogpile it and get the retrieval, and they now scoop up the flag and get it moving, looking for the spawners. Where they at?
They know they're outside. They're going to be coming in from jetpack side, and they're going to try to outrun them real quick. Spartan is a fast little dog, but not quick enough as he gets grenaded, but the flag still gets put in.
How have they brought this one back? I suppose that's the nature of the beast when we talk about Countdown Flag. It is a very small, compacted map. It is a very quick capture should you run that S2 straight through the streets and away we go. And all of a sudden, from a 3-0 deficit, We're almost drawn up. One more will get the job done. Boo outside with rockets. Fresh rockets to that as well, so he could completely open this one up for his team. If they get some kind of momentum on the flag, some kind of pull, he can be the bodyguard, he can be the defender, he can be the champion that they need. First point is dead. Dead zone down, but unfortunately you hear that in your headphones that the flag is being moved on the opposing side. However, he could go and cut this off if he could even try to go for the flag.
I don't like the flag run in this situation. Maybe stop it here and let someone else take it. It's just too risky to potentially lose those rockets. And it looks like Boo does that. He runs the flag out a little bit, sets up for a teammate, and now Boo's trying to find out, are they spawning outside or are they spawning garage? That last touch was all right, but once again, you just need to get some slays. There's that kill from Boo, getting that player on the drop.
Where was his teammate?
Yeah, Solo handling this flag. Which
he's staying above it. Look at that.
He's been doing a great job.
Look at that. That's amazing.
He needs teammates to back this up.
That was amazing. He used the jetpack to avoid the grenades. He just stands alone in the corner. Yes, he died, but not without an offense first. Fires the rocket, gets the kill. The flag's been... It's still going. It's stopped for now. It's not quite dead. Rockets come in. This is just a complete massacre. 4 players dead.
Everyone absolutely wiped there for just a moment. Looks like that flag's reset. And one thing that's just so surprising to me is, although Boo, in my eyes, made some riskier plays that I would like to see, he was not punished for those, and he kept that flag alive. And it just still sparks that question is, where was the next flag handler?
Yeah.
Where's that next person to say, don't worry, Boo, I'm going to touch the flag. I'll take care of it. You use me as bait and get slays. There was nobody using the flag as bait, and that's what you dream of with a rocket. With the rocket launcher, you want somebody else running that flag, and you can just easily pick off the players trying to hurt your objective runner.
Yeah, you're going to be rather angry when you've got it so far and done so much, and it's been there for a good 10 seconds and no one's there to help you out. Especially when you get it that far, you have rockets, you can support them, you can help them with the run. They do get one afterwards, but it could have been 4-3. That could have been a very easy capture. Spartan with snipe. S2 now, lurking, looking. Where's the next enemy? What are you going to do with it? Boo with rockets. 1 player in front of him, so that's 2 players down. Keeping an eye on the kill feed. They can make something happen here. He's got a teammate to pull it. Rocket goes in. Doesn't kill the player. A little bit slow. That's a double. This should be a run.
Yep. Here we have someone run. Boo is out of rocks in this scenario, which is okay. But I think ideally they would have moved that just a little bit faster, and end of the day, this flag is kind of stopped and they cannot overcommit to it, because if they overcommit, they're going to give up 2 made deaths, and then Unlimited are going to answer and pull a secondary flag back.
Nice position with the sniper, but unfortunately doesn't realize there is someone on catwalk and hiding up from the vents. 2 players have got his number wrote. The grenades in there could be vital. Drop down will be his next point as he sees that, finds the flag guy. Does get shut down. Sniper's there for support. Goes for the no-scope on the double. Doesn't quite find it. Spartan will say no.
Flag taken.
Flag run again. Off the fresh. This player's dead. This might be really easy. This could be too easy, unfortunately, because they're all respawning, Dave.
Ace had a teammate up at snipe 3.
Just like that.
And so he just runs it straight through the front window. The only threat that could have really stopped Ace there was somebody coming in from opposing jetpack and going to S2. So he decides, well, I can get hit from the back from that player either way. Might as well take the faster route and cut down the window of opportunity to shut him down.
This is good. This is nice Halo from them. To respond after going 3-0 down, to respond like this and to actually take it to 4-3. And as well, coming off the back of a loss. This will do wonders for your confidence rolling forward. But again, we speak about responses. It's same on the opposing side. The flag will be pulled out to try and deny some time.
Once again, I like that play from Eco, though. Instead of running the flag in case it gets recovered right away, he decides just to poke himself in and ensure that this garage area and main level 2 area is open. He didn't have to threaten his flag into a vulnerable position in order to do that.
All tied up, Dave, all tied up. They managed to get it in, secure it. Next flag will win, and it's already on the move. There are grenades there doing damage. Blue player managed to at least capitalize, knocks him down for now. Sniper watching, lurking, double kill. Could be the retrieval, and it is. The recovery is good. Both back at home base again. Ace jumps up, but unfortunately sat back down. Sniper, no scope, good position as well. His teammates can pull this one. He has composure, he has time. He can watch the street, he can watch the door, but there's multiple players at multiple angles. He has to be careful here. Valkyrie shuts him down. There's 3 of them dead. And the flag's already moving across the map, Dave. I can see it. They're getting retrievals. This one could be all she wrote. Mantra have answered back unless there's someone there to get the stop. That is a huge win. An insane turn of events. At the start of the game, they looked down.
They were down 3 flags to nothing in a course of, what, 2.5 minutes? They got off to one of the roughest starts I've ever seen there on Countdown Flag in a finals.
That is how you reset. This is how you pick yourself up after a loss.
Also only outslayed by about 3 kills. I mean, the flag count kind of shows that it was even across the board as far as objective and then also in slays. But I think the bigger difference for me was, or the things I was most impressed about were Eco's flag escorts. Anytime Eco would bring the flag through Jetpack, he would always go into level 2 of the base first. Make sure that area is secured, getting damage on a player, getting a kill on a player, making sure no surprise nades were coming in from Garage, and that was how they secured 3 of their 4 caps, to my knowledge. There's that Jetpack play you're so stoked about.
Yeah,
dodging those grenades, just making them take 1 or 2 extra grenades to get the kill.
That's what I mean, it's little things. Fair enough, he died, but not without taking a player with him, not without denying a bit more time. I was very disappointed at that one, though, and you kind of touched on it a little bit more, and we'll expand on it here while we wait for this game to kick up. To be able to have that flag there for so long doing nothing, and his teammates were so fixated on other stuff that are going across the map, fair enough if you're fighting someone in your base and stopping. It's hindsight from us. There could have been 1,000,001 other things going off inside the base they have to deal with. Fair play. But Booba was left with rockets in a priority position with that flag. Someone should have been there to help him out and support him, even to just drag it back. Ended up being a dead cap, but regardless of what way we look at it, they come down from 3-0 to win it 5-4. It was close. But regardless, it's a huge win, a huge momentum swing back in their favor. They are now 1 map away from being crowned your DreamHack Anaheim 2020 Grand Champions. This would be spotted and falcated, putting a trophy in the cabinet for the very first time in their young careers. Remember, for some of these guys, this is just the start. We've seen them in Halo 5, we saw them in Halo 4. They're not the old dogs. They've not been through the ring of Halo 2, Halo 3. They're looking for Halo Reach, Halo 5, and then Infinite to really stamp their mark and really say they are at the top of their game.
But they got tall order in front of them here in this game number 5. If you recall, just a couple series ago, Stellar and his jetpacking sniping brought his team with a, he led his team with a killing frenzy, and I want to say it was, what, a 17-3 performance? 17-3 performance. So let's see if Stellar can even pull off half that performance right now. If he can, I think his team's going to be in just fine shape.
Well, we shall see. First kills go the way of Mantra. I'm pretty sure.
I would grab that grenade. There's that grenade near main ramp. 1 grenade in this scenario is going to make such a big difference to chuck down that rock ramp or anything. Or maybe I just prioritize grenades so much because, towards the later years, my aim wasn't as solid as it should have been if we're going to be realistic sims. And it's like, oh man, I need that grenade to secure this fight and this kill.
Or you could just go full-blown pistola and just stick everybody before you die. I'm absolutely fine with it. Dude, imagine how Karma and Zyos are at the moment, like, been a part of this organization, first time coming here, watching them. First event, and they sweep this up as a win.
That is such a strong start to any new esports org. I mean, one of the strongest starts you could ever ask for, to come in and dominate a tournament and teams that have been around for so long.
More importantly, looking onwards to Infinite, securing a brilliant team. Like, other people could be coming to this scene. I said it before, this could be a scouting ground. People could be looking for the players of tomorrow. As a first-time org setting up something like this and then having such a fantastic foundation under your feet, I'd be proud, but we're not there yet. We've still got work to do. 12-9 is the score. Sank Slayer snipes her up. Stella is down, unfortunately. 3-1 in the series. More importantly, they have to reset this entire bracket should they want to lift that trophy. Same scenario again, picking snipes off spawn while he's already got one in tandem. Boo Boo Doo, the man with the jetpack and the snipe, this time is denied. Back of the flag, 1, 2.
Someone flanked through as well. I mean, we just saw him get back smacked or meleeed there, and that is a huge disruption over on the Unlimited side of the base. even though they were able to trade that kill out and get that player, this kind of resets the map. It doesn't allow someone like someone like Stellar to get in their groove and fully just go snipe after snipe and kill only spawners. He now has to run back on over, acquire that sniper, get back in his rhythm in order to create the damage that we were seeing in previous series.
Off angle here for the sniper, two of them held back in walls. It's not the greatest place to be when you're holding two, especially with a power weapon, for the simple fact you could get
not the greatest
in.
place or the greatest player that you want to have in your snipe, you know, in that Walsh area.
I don't know, if we're talking about annoyance, it's just, you become a it's a damn good place, you know, like any other one where you can just hide in these nooks and crannies, and just being a focal point. If you can buy time for your team and be a nuisance so the rest of them can rally round and approach you and support you in places that you need it, it gets the job done, doesn't it? And it wouldn't be called after players if you wouldn't be abusing those, and many people have abused those spots for years. So I understand it. We find all these certain areas on maps that become key and priorities. Like for instance on Countdown Radio, you always know someone's going to be sneaking and hiding up there, so you kind of check it. There's spots and places like this on every single map. But we're going to shut up, and I want to focus back on this game because things are starting to heat up. 28 to 23, 11:30 on the clock, loads of time to play with. But if Mantra just keeps accepting every single challenge for this, even if they just go trade for trade, this will be all she wrote, and this will be a big GG, and only losing 2 maps while doing so.
Yep, Mantra will happily welcome trades right here. As you notice, Falcated running around that corner just to get that melee. And that's one of those melee trade times I was talking about against Sims. The player over on the Unlimited side didn't really have to go in for that melee trade, could have potentially backed away. But Falcade, realizing that window of opportunity, just decides to charge on out, gets a few shots, gets the melee, and goes 1 for 1.
Hey, they brought this back though, Dave. Brought this back. Bubu's looking potentially for a jetpack. I don't know if he's got. Oh, he's already got one. Never mind. Excuse me. You can hear it in the back kicking off. Just can't see it below on the left-hand side.
Looking for a different pack. Getting the health pack now, Sims.
Made it work though. He can keep his health up. Camo down bottom middle. Ooh, big nade. Bit of a pressure play here to eliminate the sniper. This gives their sniper on the back side to be able to get into a better position. Awful scrappy fight going over by shotgun tunnels. They need to be careful here and aware in case somebody wants to make a play for either bottom mid bonfire or even on the opposing car side. Don't get caught off guard. He knows where Spartan is. Spartan doesn't know, doesn't see the camo, is forced back for now. Ace tanked up at the back. This challenge may come, but look at the support from above. Falcated gets pushed. That grenade is fantastic. That stops the advancement. More importantly, it stops the bleeding and it keeps us tied up.
And I would also say the more important part there is that camo just got kind of traded out. It wasn't nearly as effective as you'd expect. There was that main time where Dead Zone checked to see if that player was flanking all the way through rock jump up to make sure teammates were not getting flanked in ring 2. However, the main job of camo is to penetrate the opponent's defense, to break on through their lines, and he spent an extra 5 to 7 seconds looking at that, and then once getting over on their side, wasn't able to crack the shots that he needed to, wasn't able to hit those shots, do the damage in the spots where his teammates were at, and that camo was relatively ineffective in my eyes.
Well, we've passed the 40 mark on both points. It's still neck and neck tied up to this one, but every single death will count. And at this point in the game, it's just kill for kill, trade for trade. However, that's huge. That's pivotal. Stella with a double. Looking for more. Smacks him in the body. It's not a kill, but it's a tag. His teammates are not there for his assistance. That's fine, but that headshot's going to count as well. He could single-handedly end this. He could put a cap. They only need one more. He's just gone off. He's got the job done. There is a player there who's pressuring Falcated, traded off, and we continue. This is not over yet.
It is not, and Stellar coming up clutch when his team need him, getting that double kill, securing that sniper, picking off a player over on rocks, helping all of the Mantra members get pinned over in that corner. There was not much they could do at the end. That battle was lost more around like the 44 mark.
Thick. I love things. It's great to watch. Who went off there? Was it Stellar again? It was 15 and 6. Called it at the start.
Again.
You called it at the start.
For the second time. And I think Bubu on the bottom only having 5 kills. So the 2 stars that we've seen generally go off on Sanctuary Slayer, one of them held their title, the other one, Bubu, definitely fell.
Maybe there's some point in there where, you know, you look at it from
right at the beginning. Boo getting picked. Maybe that's one of the points in there.
From the coach's point of view, Hoaxer might be saying, "Okay, guys, kill Boo. Like I know it sounds daft, but there is going to be a point where we saw it through Halo 5. A lot of teams are saying, "Don't let Frosty get a sniper." Simple as that, and we win the game. If they're shutting Boo down on this because he knows what he's capable of, it's a viable tactic. Eliminate one player that's such an impact player, I want to say, especially on a map like that. If that was the play to shut him down and keep him dead, it worked.
Yeah, you've seen strategies like that in the past as well, where it's like old straight rip-in. You saw old Carbon focus on Neighbor and make sure he wasn't able to get anything going during some of those series because he was such an impact player with all his flanks and his power-up control. And it frustrates the team and makes them divide within. I mean, you make that player out of the game, make them question or complain towards their teammates if that's their certain mentality. I'm not saying Boo Boo Dooba is a complainer like that, but it does just shake the core of their general strategy, especially from that player who should be putting up those big numbers.
Battle Canyon, King of the Hill. Will we see Game 7? It's feeling likely, especially if we kind of roll his mindset back to earlier on in this series. They dumpstered Mantra on King of the Hill. They rode away with that game. They had it in full control. Even I was saying we had no idea about weapons. We had no idea about the hills. The setups weren't there. As I say that, Boo Boo just... Oh, BM. Don't want to stab your homie in the back like that.
No kidding. He said if he's not taking first place, he's taking his kidney as well and selling that off to, for more DreamHack money.
You kind of scare me, Dave. I'm not going to lie, when I hear things like coming out of your mouth, it's kind of concerning. Yeah, I think I will stay at my hotel room tonight. I'll pass on staying at your house. Thank you very much.
Relax. You don't cut from the front anyways if you're taking the kidney.
Dave!
What?
Dave!
What?
Time's are ticking, and these rockets could be kicking. We're looking for this next player. He's trying to find him because he's had some information clearly that he is lurking. You can see the grenades going off the top of the hill. You can hear the shots there. He is, just catches the top of his head. Doesn't want to waste the rocket just yet, and I'm okay with that. Opts to just work his way through the teleporter. Still scrappy hill time and not just YOLOing in with rockets. Again, I'm okay with it, but he's getting nailed from above. No one kept control of him. This player up top is actually causing all kinds of problems. Forces one to kill himself, unfortunately, puts a nade. And all of a sudden, Mantra, I don't know what's gone on here, but Unlimited have just crumbled.
They are just absolutely struggling, even though they had strong control in my eyes. I mean, you have rockets over at the new base where the hill's moving to. Like, that's a strong enough setup and hold that you should be able to stay there for a minute. In fact, actually, maybe rockets must have been at the opposite base since we see them over at blue at the moment. And I'm quite surprised that Falcated isn't really moving on over towards red a bit earlier. Maybe he just wants to secure that weapon before moving over, but it feels like some of these teams take a later push than I would generally expect. I think we saw that pretty consistently from Unlimited on Nexus King of the Hill, and now we're seeing it from Mantra here at this first rotation on Battle Canyon King of the Hill.
That's a bit rough, getting hit from that angle. Two players in hill here, one at snipe to keep a track on the long distance corners and any of the nests that want to throw nades over or at least try and do some damage from here. Remember, from his side, he has the archway on his side to give him a level of defense. But that's actually completely shut down, which is surprising, to be honest, with how many players they had there. They had at least 3, and this has been completely blown apart. They've taken the bull by the horns here and just says, no, not today. We'll having this hill. We'll have this set up. Thank you very much. Sniper up high, didn't quite catch how many bullets are in it, but it doesn't matter whatsoever. When you have a team shot like this and all your teammates are just lighting up enemies.
Oh, and I don't know if I agree with this play, but I mean, I know Boo Boo is a strong power-up controller, but I feel like it's his responsibility to stay up towards the... Oh my god, was that a spawn?
What?
I could not tell what happened right there for Stellar to get backjacked in that scenario. That one's a bit surprising to me, and I'd love to see a replay later on that one. But the play I was critiquing earlier was Boo Boo dropping over from top rocket arch down to grab those rockets. It's a scenario where you should hold that tall power position and help your team. I mean, maybe I misread the situation and his teammates all fell, and so he felt like he had to go scoop that weapon up and try to escape while he had a choice. But same time, too, I feel like you've got to have enough trust in your team if they were still alive that they can grab that weapon, that you're going to hold the position that they can't easily get to, and then just work as a team in that format. I mean, you can't always be the rocket or the sniper player. you have so many strong players on your team that can also take that role based on their positioning, based on the timing. Opened up for other players. I mean, clearly you had your chance in Sanctuary Team Slayer, and you weren't able to do the work with the sniper that we expected.
Players chasing each other down here. That's a big overpeak. Boo-Boo, you just got shown up, my friend. If Ace goes down here, that is absolutely phenomenal.
I like that play from two different reasons. One, because of the amazing shots, and two, was how quickly Dead Zone, instead of trying to just go grab that sniper that he saw drop on the ground, instead immediately turned his focus on that player and started laying down shots. Some other players get just tunnel vision on that power weapon getting dropped and pick that up before securing another kill, and Dead Zone just made the absolute correct play. And that split-second decision, rather than picking up the weapon and not focusing on the player first and getting that first shot, was the difference between him getting that double kill and staying alive.
Well, they've taken the lead. More importantly, they've taken map control here. A couple of great kills from Dead Zone, just seizes to the point where Eco can tip top hatchway. He will drop down because they know they have numbers, they know they will be on the respawn. But look at B, look at Stella. He wants to just continue this strangulation. Thank you so much, Richie Hines, jumping on his POV. Even though he's dead, he just keeps them back. He keeps them at bay. And more importantly, while this player's in Creek, they're ticking up time.
And I was like, this is too good to be true. Why is it so silent there? You see him get that perfect pick across the map, and that was just a great bait and switch to get that sniper kill off the top of the base. But you were right, Sims, about how much time this team is racking up in this bomb Scrappy Hills. It looks like Mantra is trying to answer that back and get a little bit more time before this rotates on over towards blue. And it looks like Mantra actually rotated to the correct base this time. Last time we saw Felcade a bit further on over towards the opposite base. This time is moving towards towards blue, where Ace is. And we're gonna see what they can do with this new hill rotating.
Drippy just comes soaring in, tags up one player and forces him back inside, get his health back. Live to fight another day. Rockets inside here are dangerous. It denies any transfer to the hill from down low. If he's got his teammate up high as well, he's got Trippy on the backboards. He's looking with a sniper, goes for the second, doesn't quite catch it, but it's done the damage. Teammates are over there. They're racking up time. That's exactly what he needs.
You have to be concerned about how much focus Unlimited has all the way over at red base, though. This is a scenario where you can see a couple players from Mantra either getting a split spawn or just pushing right through portal.
Oh, no.
And it looks like they do get the control over at Blue Blaze, sort of how I suspected. It felt like they were a little too heavily focused across the map and spread thin. And so for Unlimited to lose 3 members like that when they had rockets, they had sniper, they had any position they wanted on the map, and I felt like they just chose the incorrect positions.
Ace chasing like that shows no fear. Actually grenades or shoots the rocket out of Boo-Boo Doo-Boo, so manages to somehow stay alive. 2 players on Archway. It's very dangerous. It's rather exposed, but you know what? For some unknown reason, it's working. Boo-Boo's inside. Just easy beat down for him for now. Clean up. Ace is there. One-on-one. Needs to win this fight. Huge shots from Dead Zone. Instantly answered back. Eco will try and stay alive, and this is fine for now. He needs some help and support from his teammates, unless he's going to try and grenade this through the wall. I thought he was going to bank them off and do some damage through the windows.
Must have been aware that another player was inside the base as he quickly turned his attention towards the inner base fight.
Nades down. Set a couple of landmines and hope someone goes through the telly at the back. Looking onwards. The time again is starting to extend, and it's going in the favor of Unlimited. Snipe could do a fair amount of damage here, but there's only 6 seconds left on that hill. That's why he's looking towards bottom middle. Make sure it's clear, make sure no one's in there to retrieve it.
Also looking for whomever got those rockets. I haven't seen those acquired as of yet. Or am I off on the time slightly?
They're on 3, aren't they? Snipe's on 2, so I don't know when.
My time.
I'm not entirely sure when the initial sniper was. I don't have them written down at this moment, so it should be up in 30 seconds if they're not already being picked up. Fair amount of damage output from this nest area, which is fair play. Gives Overwatch an overview for his teammates inside, because Lord, do they need all this time in the world.
Yep, here comes the rockets in this case. So you're going to see both these teams trying to vie for this bomb center control at the 6:10 mark.
It's one of those moments where all the weapons come up at once. I know there's a really pivotal point in the game, isn't there, where snipes and rockets all spawn at the same time. Big double from Spartan. Is traded off, but it doesn't matter too much. Switch to the gun. It's not a noob combo, but it's close enough, and it does the job. Gets the player, and they're only 45 points behind. 6 minutes, anything can happen. It's anybody's game. There's the Rockets. You spoke about them, Dave, and now let's see if they're put to good use. Boo-boo, do-boo.
Getting spotted out. Players know that he's hiding down this cave, and this is such a tough position to be in. Generally, when you have the power weapon, you feel like you're the driver, you're in control, but until you get that strong position on the map, until you can get up high on a base or get behind or start to surprise players, you have to just find whatever scramble you can to get away.
This is great. It's the same scenario as before, where he's just hunting players down and denying them access to the hill. Look at that, straight across, goes for the call, responds as well. That's beautiful. There's plenty of players down and dead. He just needs to be a nuisance. Denying time is perfect.
Not even just denying time, he was also grabbing a little bit of time. I think one thing that Coach Elamite probably told them in between these last games was saying, you guys were getting slapped in those scrappy hills on Nexus King of the Hill. We need to make up some of that time in the scrappy hills. We can't just rely on the side-based setups.
They have mounted an incredible comeback. And more importantly, do they control the opposing base? No, they do not. One player on top, one player behind. Two of his friends will fall. You can see the red X on your screen, and that's rather unfortunate because that is set up on the opposing team's side. Stellar as well with Sniper can just keep them pinned down unless they can get two of them.
God.
Just flush the courtyard.
A great push right there from the members of Mantra.
This could be the bad one, Dave. To be able to get through like that, you've got to keep them in check.
You got the most crucial kill. You got the player off Rocket Arch. You should have somebody now securing your sniper.
Oh, no.
But Eco has something else to say about it as he's picking up a couple of these kills and keeping control of this red base.
Often you really see doubles or triples in this map for the simple fact of how long range it is and how many individual battles do go down across the entirety of their game. Here comes a big push though. Spartan, shields are gone. Comes around the corner, teammates will help from Needles. There's three of them there, the hill's in their favor.
And they seemingly can just jump across the center of the map, and that was such a great play from Unlimited. They realized they had a small window of time where Team Mantra was not set up fully, so they just jumped on over from the Needler side and tried to slip inside the base. It wasn't effective in the long run, but I really liked where their head was at. They saw that opportunity and took it.
This could be a hell of a long time that they get inside this hill. There's 39 seconds left. They could actually take the lead very easily. Spartans playing bouncer on the back of the telly, actually goes through preemptively to check it. They will nade out Nest, and they find Eco. Beautiful job from Spartan. This is fantastic, bobbing back and forth.
Such a great play. You can generally just deduce that players aren't on the other side of that portal watching. You watch for a little bit, you say, all right, no one's coming through. I see a lot of pressure going in the middle of the map. I can actually pop on through, help a little bit, and then go back towards the hill. So that play by Spartan was able to knock out that player in the top sniper tower and help his team secure control of the map.
Rockets are showing the face. Most important thing about that, they got all the hill time, and then the last one, they denied any kind of setup from Unlimited, which I kind of like. Rockets will find it. Boo Boo unfortunately dies just on the archway. They do lose the lead. While it's only small and while it's very fragile, anything can happen. We're on thin ice. Both of these teams are walking the line here, and it's coming down to the last 3 minutes of regular play. Rockets, two of them. Anyone wants to come down low, that's an easy kill for Eco. More importantly, if they, there's two of them in there, that could be an easy double. There's one, two, there's a third person who's all kind of flashing over there. It's in the back. He actually gets respond on Spartan. The next one to fall, so that'll be 3 dead.
And now Mantra is on the bad end of this cycle. Spartan saw that kill or two and thought it was the perfect time to jump in the hill. Instead, Dead Zone was just baiting it perfectly, and now Dead Zone and the Unlimited squad were able to secure about 10 points and still keep control of the map.
Those rockets were huge to take one, damage another, and then move on to another one for the double. His teammate cleans it up on the assistance. That's instantly 3 players. When you get into that point, unless the last player standing is a complete and utter god, you can guarantee yourself 4 to 5 seconds of scrappy hill time. Sniper Ace misses the point, gives away his position, he is pinned down. Double again from Dead Zone. He kills, he gets control. He kills and he gets control. Back and forth, and it's doing the job. Look at the time that he's scrapped up.
It was even going into this final hill, essentially, or sorry, this final scrappy hill. And now you're seeing them pull ahead by 30 points here for Unlimited, doing such a good job in this scrappy hill.
Mantra has a hell of a lot of work to do. They were doing it. They look fantastic. Spartan was absolutely tearing faces. But all of a sudden on a pinhead, Unlimited just says, no, we'll deny this one. We've given you a little window of opportunity. You haven't taken full advantage of it. And now we're here to play. 5 seconds, Hill moves. And most importantly, we look at the players. We look at the position, who's in control. Trippy and Co, the blue team, they will move over. Unlimited is going down in numbers, but there is trade. Sniper ends up in the Hill. It's dangerous, but if he lands these shots, it'll be even more dangerous for the opposing side. Down we go, nades up, manages to somehow stay alive. And the question is, can Mantra hold on this entire time for dear life, or do we see game 7 when Dead Zone's doing things like that? I'm feeling a game number 7, Dave.
We are going to game 7, Sims. You are correct there. Absolutely clutch by Unlimited playing that at the end. Not only did they not overcommit in the Scrappy Hill for the last 15 or 20 seconds, which would have potentially opened a door for Mantra to get a full setup and full control, they realized they didn't have to get those last 7 to 10 scrappy seconds of time. Instead, it all relied on how many kills that they can get around blue base. How can they set up to ensure that Mantra does not get some sort of full control on the map and just walk away with the last hill of the game?
Game over.
We are going all the way. Championship Sunday Grand Finals, game number 7. It's always written in the stars that this is how we want to see a championship won. We don't want to whitewash. We don't want to see anyone just walked over. We want to see a challenge. We want to see teams putting some effort in and giving it their all, and this is exactly what we're getting now on your screens. 34 kills from Spartan. We did touch note on him. He was playing absolutely out of his mind. But unfortunately, it's not a slaying game. It is an objective. And they've lost both of the King of the Hills now back to back. I'd be interested to see if their actual only game lost coming into this was also a King.
Oh my God, yeah. If
it were all 3 Kings, I mean, 3 Kings in a game of poker is usually good. But for these boys, it's looking
they
bad.
The Slayer, obviously, but yeah, I know what you mean.
I just, you know, I mean, it could be their weakness.
Yeah.
And if that's one of their weaknesses, then it's something that can be exploited by Unlimited. Oh, lordy. I think, yeah. What can you say apart from intense close action Halo? This was huge. To get that kill, to move on to the double, but even the player just knocks him down from there. At that point, his teammate gets the assistance, and that's 3 kills. When you have bottom middle like that, every single time it's like, well, that's just free time for me. Any double in a map like that, that's so...
You just grab the hill because not only is it either free time, or it draws out the remaining members of the other team. So you can find where those other players are at and then just collapse on them with your team.
Red, blue, blue. Next match, Slayer on the pit. If you're a Halo 3 fan, you know how this one all goes down. The OS can be important. Rockets, snipers, all the goodies, all the toys are going to be in play. Championship matchup when we look towards the side of Mantra. They win this, they lift the trophy, they get the check for $25,000. Unlimited Gaming on the opposing side. They take this map, and we go again. Another best of 7 will be laid out of a gauntlet in front of both of these teams, and then there'll be no second lives after that. They have a second chance, Dave. It's been removed once from when you turn into the elimination bracket, but now they're on the verge of capitalizing and maybe making amends for going down there earlier on.
And look at this right off the bat. Eco not only getting a double kill, but also breaking behind enemy lines here. This is going to be very difficult match to break out of unless you get someone like Boo Boo Doo getting that pick, which was so huge. That could have been devastating if Boo Boo did not stop that. And now Mantra on the offensive, trying to get control of Unlimited Sniper Tower.
He knows where someone is, just over by the side of training, moving forward. He might be able to get him. He steps in. Stella just has his neck completely removed as he smacks him between the eyeballs. Boo Boo with a snipe. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and he's getting the job done. Rockets, it's quite funny when it's literally only the rocket guy that can shut you down. You have to commit to him, knock him out of sword base. But it's put points on the board. That's the most important thing. And it's broke that initial downtime that they actually had.
Yeah, points on the board, but look at that amazing spree that we saw by Boo Boo, and it's kind of all for nothing. It just stopped Unlimited from getting an even further lead. So that doesn't bode well here for this Mantra roster, that they go off in a sense like that, and they aren't far ahead. In fact, they were still behind during that exchange.
This is quite a hard push. They want to take control of this side, but he does have teammates to help him. One of them's already tagged up. You see the assistance medal, so he's gone and been removed. That means one is lurking around Mauler. Unless we didn't see him go down off feed, off cam. They're going down. Ace is dead. So is another one as well. 3 simultaneously, back-to-back. Eco picks up the double and moves towards, finds one camping. Good trade-off. I'm okay with that, rather than giving up a sniper and let your mate just sit there on the opposing side and lay into you. That's fine. Now, this is the problematic thing, Dave. Where people are spawning, they have the information, and there's potential here. They can just pin them down.
And this is just still neck and neck. Both these players going off on such amazing sprees that are just keeping their teams in the game. So maybe that's one thing I also need to give credit to. I shouldn't have been as critical of Mantra to say that, well, Boo, you know, they're not going off in this situation. It's like more like, all right, it was kind of a great equalizer in a situation where Eco started off the game so strong. Gain that double, push in towards the opposite side of the map, and gain control. So I'm just still in awe that neither of these teams have pulled further ahead because of the control that we've seen from time to time. Generally, you see someone get on top of a top turret, and it just breaks so many openings for your team to push in, to prod, to get spawn kills, to force them to make mistakes like Trippy is forced to jump out and challenge there. These are the times that we see teams pull ahead in Mantra, getting the spawn kills over on the limited base.
Dude, this was absolutely incredible to watch. No scope, Eco, where's your brain at, buddy? Trippy's there also to fall simultaneously. Now it's all coming together. Now we're seeing teamwork just committed. Eco's there on the respawn. They'll get the call. They calm down for a second and they regroup. I'm okay with it. They have the rockets, they can get themselves back. They now don't have to push. They now don't have to do the work, Dave. They can just let Unlimited feed into them.
Yeah, might as well just relocate Boo to a new location, get to him somewhere in Sword, somewhere hidden where he can just pick off the easy kills. Right now, like you said, Sims, they have this 5 or 6 kill lead. No need to force anything. Wait for your sniper. Wait for the easy kills to head your way. If anything, just make sure you're not giving away these free kills. It's going to be so tough for Unlimited just to pick off 5 or 6 unanswered kills. And there's Boo with a nice long-range rocket, extending the lead one further.
It's also a spree. He wants to make amends from one of the previous rounds where he shut down in the Sanctuary game. Sniper will be popping, and it is dropping. 11-10, they're up, the weapons.
Behind the lines, too. So far behind, but looks like Falcated also gets trapped in there, trying to help his teammate a little too far. Maybe Spartan created a great opportunity, but doesn't seem like all these members of Mantra are on the same page. There's Spartan all the way on the opposite side. I believe you also had Ace somewhere flanking through, which I don't want to give away fully, but yes, Ace has flanked all the way through on Mauler, and he's been spotted, but felt like you had this division of where these members of Mantra wanted to go. Boo wanted to reel back. Velcated and Ace both wanted to support Spartan all the way on the opposite side of the map.
I know there's things going on your screen, but I want you to take a minute, just appreciate. Look at the left-hand side, bottom corner. Look at Elamite. Look at how directive he's been. He is basically simultaneously just controlling this entire team. Whether or not he's focusing himself as an IGL here, he's looking at all 4 screens and directing them where to go, what to do. Every time I see an OS, I see it noted down on that pen and paper. When they killed him, he noted it down. He is directing this team like a show. I've always said this about Halo teams, and even Penguin mentioned it earlier on. It's not a 4-man team, it's a 5-man team. The coaches in the back, they do just as much. Being able to direct you, pull your head out of the ground when you need it. More importantly, keep a track of where things are. If someone else is quiet in the corner, if you have a player who doesn't like to communicate or can tilt easily, tell him to shut up and call out for him. Kyle right now is doing work for this roster. Even if it's just a matter of keeping them together, it's the right thing to do, and it's beautiful to see unfold.
Yeah, not letting them throw this lead away. I mean, they have a 7-point lead here in game number 7. In all honesty, they just have to not really mess up. They just have to pick off the kills that make sense, that are right there for them. Something like Dead Zone out in the open. You can go 1 for 1 in a situation like this if they play it correctly.
As long as they don't throw it, because yesterday we saw one team in particular, I can't remember the name, forgets me, but who just decided to keep on pushing when they didn't have to, and there's no need to feed easy kills to the opposing force. Spartan's overextending, but he knows where one individual is. If you're going to overextend, you at least get the trade.
That's a great time, though. A great time to do that as rockets are up. And now, despite going 1 for 1, they still have their relative lead. You know, it's a 5, you know, previously they had a 7-kill lead. Now they have a 5-kill lead, but they have sniper, they have rockets, they have their half of the map. there's not much more you can ask for.
More importantly, they have the lead. They have this setup that they can just lock down. Richie, can you just run us through and cycle where all of red team is? So we have one over here on training with Rockets. We have one on stage.
Ace still pushing through. Yeah, Ace getting a little aggressive now. We're not sure if this is the correct play or not. I mean,
I thought they set up there, personally. I'm surprised that they haven't set up, and now things are going wrong. There is a sniper response on the opposing side, but by doing that, by Ace overstepping his boundaries, Dave, they've been broken into. There's someone inside sword base.
It's an odd time, too, to make that push. Unless Ace had been over there for a long period of time, it's the wrong time to make that push. When the game slows down, there's no way you're just going to randomly sneak down long haul, sneak through runway without being spotted. It's just a fact of these setup times. Teams are able to watch every angle. You need some sort of distraction, you need some sort of kill in order to make that push. And it didn't seem like they had that window of opportunity, yet Ace still pushed.
Well, they're now making a grouped effort. One comes down the corner, that should be an easy kill. Look at that. That's 3 assists now that I've seen back to back to back. When I mentioned to Richie, I thought it was going to stay all quiet. I thought they were just going to hang back and hold still, but that doesn't mean to be the response at all. For them, it's just keep up the pressure and keep applying the kills. If you can get these individual frags, why the hell not? Sniper rifle, when you have health like this, there's no real reason to overextend because then you're just going to hand over more tools to the opposing force. So he can sit back, he can lock down.
Also use time in your advantage right now. I mean, snag that health pack. This is a situation, too, where Boo, I'm not sure of the exact health implications, but there's a chance he can just get one-shot bodied by a sniper in a duel, and that's not a position you want to set yourself up for.
Doesn't actually chase the kill, he just calls it out once he's got him flashing. His teammate does come in for some assistance. 6 kills is still...
The brand new sniper, this is such a huge, huge play. Not even just wasting the ammo, bringing it back. This could be the moment that Unlimited were looking for. The window of opportunity where they can get all the power weapons, 2 snipers, only down by 4. This is a very winnable situation if you're in Unlimited's shoes.
Dude, that's so scary. This is so precarious. Look at this. Full snipe, he's picked up another one along the way, and he's got the OS. The fact that he killed that player on training stopped his mate from dying, so they even denied another point. That's an insane play here, and now we're only down to 4. But Ace is there. He at least gets the triple. That is huge. That is pivotal. When they're doing so much work here to put a stopgap on that. That is big. Beautiful play from Ace.
And look at this sneaky position. Spartan the dog flanking through on green, unseen. Gets the back smack on Trippy and is breaking through these Unlimited lines. They thought it was a standoff period, but Spartan the dog had something else to say about it.
Keep on pushing, boys. You only need 2 more. This is it. 2 more kills between you and the trophy. Make it 1. They know where they are. They're downstairs. He gets the kill. And more importantly, they get the championship. This is incredible.
Your DreamHack Anaheim champions right there, hugging it out. You know how much this has to mean to some of these players. There's nothing sweeter than your big first tournament victory.
Spartan, Ace, Valkated, Boo. Back it up with Unllimited, and this was a recipe for success. You can see Spartan tears in his eyes. You know how much this means to him. He has been chasing a trophy for so many years. So many years. He's done it, finally. It's in the cabinet.
Give it up for these boys. Let's go. What a series. You got to respect the emotion on these boys' faces. Man, Spartan at the very end of that game, hiding in green with that backsmack.
Such a smart play, just being in the right place at the right time. And they were not afraid to open up those windows of opportunity. Even though they had the lead, they still felt most comfortable starting some action, pushing on through, getting a kill, and then charging.
They had to do it.
I love it.
My main concern is that if they hadn't have done it there, with them being younger players, with them being a bit more of a...
It would have been a scary next series.
Yeah, this is the thing. If we'd have reset the bracket, I did have my concerns on whether or not they'd been able to actually take it all the way, but it doesn't matter. That's going to be the one.
There you have him on stage. We're missing some. There he is. Give it up for your champions. DreamHack Anaheim, Halo Esports 2020. kicking it off strong. I love this. So great to see.
Such a fantastic and unexpected grand finals.
Yeah.
Both these teams well-deserving to have their places in the #1 and #2 spots, taking out Sentinels 4-0. An unheard of number or scoreline to have against this dominant force that's been around for 5+ years and will continue to be around. You know they're not going to settle just after this last match.
Oh, we're only just getting started. I mean, it was a hell of a road to climb, too.
It was. To say that they've not dropped to the elimination brackets, they've done it in pretty good style as well.
Yes.
I don't know how much, like, what's most impressive is Spartan doing his medical degree and everything else, and even this morning he tweeted out, got to get my homework done first, and then we can move to this. Like, it kind of shows what it means to these guys.
I don't know if you've seen Boo Boo's YouTube videos at all, but he is just the most disciplined person. You can see it in his videos as well. He's training every day. His mindset is unwavering. Are you trying to tell me there's
a Boo Boo Doo Boo YouTube?
There's a Boo Boo Doo Boo YouTube.
Oh my God.
You better check that out. Shout out to
It's just full of spring. He just watches it for the spring jumps. That's it.
No. He has these unique, creative videos that have to deal with mindset and the grind and what it's like behind the camera. Like, instead of just the gameplay, he goes, you know, a deep dive into the grind.
I don't mean this in any BM in any way, shape, or form to anyone. It's not directed at anybody, but it's nice to see some passion within Halo. I love to see it. Like, even if it's...
How does that... You can't take that... take that the wrong way. It's amazing to see.
Get him up here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
I want them all up here, but we're going to get Spartan. Here he is.
Let me help.
Look at that trophy.
The headset. It took you long enough.
God damn it. How many years have you been a Halo player? Finally.
I've been playing Halo since CE, but, you know, I started competing in Halo 4 8 years ago, man. My first official tournament was the Halo 4 opener in Dallas, and, you know, I
still remember the hat, the dog hat.
Yeah, that's how I came up with Spartan the Dog. Adventure Time, Jake the Dog. We were on a team, and we all picked a character from the show, and so I picked Jake the Dog, and that's how I got Spartan the Dog. And, you know, I can't even... Shout out to my teammates, man. We kept full composure, and we played our game.
That's such a huge point, too, is that went all the way to Game 7. You guys had such a strong start, and then the hill games, they were so strong in those hill games, and then they managed to... Like, what are you feeling when you get to that Game 7? It's all down to the wire. How do you keep your composure in those moments?
I think this is the first time I've gone to a Game 7 where, like, I think it's the reason why we were able to close it out. The first time I've gone to a Game 7 where our team just didn't care about the rest of the series. Like, we just don't, we just move on, you know? Yeah. That's all you can do, because if you just hold on to the mistakes that you made in the past, you're just going to be constantly, like, subconsciously thinking about it. And you're just not going to play the same game. Right. I mean, we didn't hesitate that Game 7. We just...
You didn't let up.
No.
You were on their side the entire game, and I gotta say, like, even when it went down to the wire in the last, like, 10 kills, you're flanking, you're hiding in green. Man, tell me about that. I think you were one of the main guys going for the flank the entire game, just assaulting them.
Man, I don't know. I saw an opening. I walked their green box, and I hit there, and when I got that back smack, it was game over. I knew we won the game right then and there. That guy had no clue. I back smacked him. I walked their needle pit. I make the guy one-shot their cuts. I make Eco weak their S2. And I had somebody behind me who pushed through long because he saw, like, we were communicating, like, Sparty's in their green, dude, like, go.
Yeah, create the distraction, you know, capitalize on those moments. That was the part that's most surprising to me, is a lot of teams, they'll get those leads, they'll play passive, and I was expecting that passive play style from Mantra and just letting your snipers do the work, but instead, you all weren't afraid to send 1 or 2 people down in certain charges to try to create those openings that you could get more than just 1 or 2 picks. Instead, you turn that into 3 or 4 kills and a couple trades.
Yeah, we... right there, actually, that rocket, that was a big one. Somebody on my team actually communicated. He's like, dude, I think there's someone in their sword ramp on the little platform. I was like, all right, boop.
Thread the needle.
And then that play right there, this one right here, this was the game closer. Trippy just didn't know.
Is there? I know we're obviously on a positive high, but I want to kind of look at it from a different angle, get your thoughts and mindset. Is there any point during that entire series where you're, like, super concerned that if you lose this, you have to be taken through the ringer in another best of 7? Like, how does that affect you from a mindset, knowing that?
I mean, knowing that if we had, I mean, it's a cushion, actually. I don't even think it's a negative thing. Like, yeah, it would kind of suck that we go all the way to Game 7 and then have to play a whole new series, but, like, that just wasn't even a thought on our minds. Like, Yeah. We went into that series like we are winning this series. That we're not going to a reset. This is it. We're winning, and this is ours.
Dude, you dropped 4 maps the entire event.
Yeah. We, I mean, we are just not a Nexus team. I think we lost Nexus 2 out of 3 times. The one time we clutched up against Sentinels, we lost the Zealot flag to Unlimited. I'm pretty sure like almost every game we dropped was to them. I think we dropped 1 to Infinite.
Yeah.
Wow. What a weekend.
What a narrative. Especially with that music we just had. I felt like we're at the end of Jurassic Park or something.
Dude, I was, honestly, I could hear it. I was able to hear it. I was like, dude, is this Jurassic Park?
Just one long movie with a happy ending is what it looks like right now. And a happy ending for Halo Esports. This has just been so incredible overall. I have so many thank yous. First of all, thank you, Spartan. Thank you, Mantra, and all these amazing Halo players who made this event so damn incredible. I have thank yous to the staff at DreamHack, to the staff at 343 who worked tirelessly to make this event a success. Of course, thank you to the audience, the viewers, and the audience live who was stuck with us to enjoy these amazing Halo games. Thank you, Walshy. Thank you, Sims. Thank you, Brav and Clutch, the casters who stuck with us. And of course, thank you to our sponsors, the US Navy and Monster Energy, giving us energy all weekend long. Before we go, I'm going to go out on a limb here, so bear with me. I think you can look at Twitch viewer numbers. You can find a million reasons to be pessimistic about Halo's future, but in my perspective, I like the okay, this is a big moment for me. Just give me a second.
I feel that.
In my eyes, I need this to work, okay? In my eyes, the Halo talent is already here. We got players like Spartan. The talented players are here. The personalities are here. The energy, the excitement, the genuine excitement is already here. Halo Esports has just begun. 2020 is just the beginning. All that's left is Halo Infinite. We are just getting started. So let me ask you this. Are you ready? Are you ready for Halo Esports' future? Are you ready?
Crowd, are we ready for Infinite?
I know I am.
What about you boys? I'm ready for a beer. Oh, you've got ID. We can buy you a beer finally. Yeah, no, good weekend. Thank you very much to yourself as well. Cracking job on the hosting desk.
Thank you.
Cracking job on all the content that you pump out. It's good. It's been a fantastic time. Thank you for me personally for having us, and for everyone else. It's yeah, onwards and upwards.
Have a good night. We'll see you next time.